And on this Wednesday morning, we are visited by Susan Williams of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Susan. How are you?
Good morning. Just great today.
Good to see you this morning.
Nice to see you as well.
That's good to see you every week.
Yeah, thank you.
So what's new? What's going on? How have you been?
Oh, boy. I've been great. Busy as always. News never changes, does it?
No.
Things are hopping. It's great to hear everything Krista's
Well, they're not hopping now because Easter's over.
Yeah, Easter's over. Yeah.
But beautiful weekend.
Beautiful weekend, yeah. It will take a few days just to remind ourselves that, let's see, it is still March. Oh, boy, I feel like it's April because we're all ready to go.
That's right. That's right. Well, you're always planning ahead, so you never live in the moment, really.
Unfortunately, not as much as I'd like to. So we're thinking April 1st. This weekend, we're going to kick off the weekend with our Flex Presents. That is our annual recognition of young professionals. So we have 10 nominees this year, and we will be honoring them on Friday night from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Quality Inn in Franklin. That will be a great night of celebrating young professionals. One thing I want to remind listeners is that event is not only for those under 40. While there will probably be a few more of the young professionals there because of the nominees and their families that support them, family and friends, it is really an evening for recognizing and celebrating all young professionals in our community. So we invite people to come on out. They can make reservations with us. We prefer reservations, so we're sure we have enough food, but we will take walk-ins that evening as well. That is a gala event, so we tell you to kind of put on your best and come out to celebrate with us.
Oh, that'd be a lot of fun.
It will be, and we're really looking forward to it. This will be our 6th year.
Wow.
And it really is a night, again, of celebrating and kind of trying to dismiss those, commonly held views that there's not an opportunity for success here in our region, that it's hard to find good work, and that young people these days don't have the same level of commitment. Well, these 10 young professionals that we've kind of called out this year are absolutely showing that those things aren't true, that there is opportunity. These are young people who have come here by plan. They have great employment. They are involved in the community. They are committed to a future in our region, and they join over 30 past nominees and 5 past recipients of the Young Professional of the Year who are really just so active in our community day to day. So this is the time to, pay attention.
I have a lot of respect for those folks who plan to come here, work. I'd love to leave, but that work release program I'm on,
trust me, we don't have to chain any of these guys down.
Listen, as soon as this bracelet's off my ankle, I'm out of here.
There you go. And it's great, the message that I hear. I interviewed each one of the 10 and have the last few years with the nominees, and I always ask them, what is the message they would give others that are considering either a relocation back to the Venango region or are thinking they might want to move here, consider a life here. And the message is very consistent. More of them than not have left at some point. Many as quickly as they could, really feeling like, gotta escape this place. There's got to be a better world out there. And some because it was the natural progression of their education and of their beginning their careers. But all of them, without exception, say, that helped me have new perspective. And there really is opportunity here and good reason to be involved because we can make a difference in our experience here. It's not about others making this a great place for us. It's about us making this a great place for us to be.
That's interesting because I think there's 2 approaches. I talked to our neighbors who, as soon as school was over, they left or they went to school and then, they had a family and realized, maybe we should move back. But there was opportunity for them here, so they were able to move back. And the benefits are, the schools and the recreation programs and,
2-minute commute to work.
Yeah, and a community that would support their needs. The other approach, it sounds like, is there's an opportunity for me to make something happen here.
Absolutely. The opportunity to actually, open a business or bring new ideas to an existing business, to really create a world outside of your job. I mean, for many people, their whole life is their job. It's about creating, a career. And that's, we need that in our business community. But for others, they know they have to earn a living, but it's more about that entire quality of life. And I don't think anyone can argue that if you're in the game, you can create a phenomenal life here in rural Pennsylvania. And we recognize that. I mean, we can't dispel the fact that it's a different life living in our communities here in Venango and Crawford counties than it is if you're living in Allegheny County and you're surrounded by malls and state stadiums and things to do. But those are so close.
Right. Certainly being involved here could be perceived as having more influence over something than being involved someplace else that's just as worthy in a more populated area.
Absolutely. I was in a meeting not too long ago with a community leader, a gentleman that's the head of one of our very visible organizations and is young. And he said, I could have easily stepped into a position in Pittsburgh. You know, I had that opportunity, but I was a small fish in a big pond. And he said, here I came and had the opportunity to be the director of the program, to really affect change and who I would work with. And we hear that all the time. And even from a volunteer standpoint, the opportunity to really affect change is so much greater here. I suppose the downside of that is because we don't have enough people engaged in volunteer work, that it's pretty easy to rise to the top there. But you really can take great skills and talents and put them to work immediately in a community like ours.
Well, the impact that can be made, again, it can be huge here. And again, when you have everybody working together, when the chamber's involved or the city or the county, it's amazing what you can do.
It is. And it's really important that we not talk about young professionals kind of in a isolated way, because they are part of the bigger picture. I mean, they want to be able to have access to seasoned leaders and be mentored and develop those relationships. So it's important that we provide opportunities for young professionals to spend time together with their peers, because they value that. Sometimes they need their own little space, but often they're really the space they want is to be in the space that we're in, and where they can learn from us and feel like they can influence more seasoned leaders' decisions about where the future is going.
These are people with a lot of energy. They are frequently very busy raising their families, running their business. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that if you ask a busy person to do something, they will find time to do it.
They will.
It will get scheduled somehow, and they will accomplish it. They may not like to be that busy, but they'll do it.
Well, certainly if it's meaningful and impacts their lives and their families' lives. The other great thing that's going to happen on Friday night is we have invited Nick Cienci to come and speak at our event. Nick, we met at a TEDx Erie event back in the fall, and he spoke on this exact subject and what his experience was like returning to his community in the Mercer area. So you can actually watch Nick on TED Talks online, but we suggest that you come and hear him live. He'll
see him in person.
Brief presentation, but he's very dynamic, and I think people will enjoy meeting him and hearing about his experience, in our opportunity to kind of mix and meet. So.
I caught one of those videos, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, who was talking about opening a business and doing surfing in Erie. And he said,
That's Nick.
That's Nick?
That's Nick.
Okay.
Yes, he brings that into his message.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, it's really, really a good story. And again, he had that experience of leaving and really trying to craft a plan to return, and was met with a lot of
his teacher said, "Why would you come back here?"
Yeah, there's nothing for you here.
I got that when I came back here in 2004. You moved back here for what?
So I think something you're going to see the chamber really working hard on in the next year, particularly a real focused approach, is how can we let people know here that are carrying that message to our young people that's not the message we want to give them. We want to give them a message of hope and opportunity and try to create that for them.
I think the other thing is maybe to take those people who say to others, "Why would you move back here?" Invite them to volunteer or participate in some activity that Chamber has.
I invite them to join us on Friday night.
There you go.
Look a young professional who is accomplished, who is working, who is volunteering, and is investing in our community. Look them in the face and tell them there's not opportunity. I think they'll tell you otherwise. I think they'll tell you why. If that's been your experience, it may be that you're part of that experience and that you could be a part of a different experience for the young people of our future.
But that's sort of a difference between maybe a leader or potential leader and somebody else, as they see those those opportunities where others wouldn't see those opportunities.
Well, not only do they see those opportunities, these are people who know what they want,
yes,
or have a pretty good idea of what they want and how to get it, and just need the avenue to accomplish it.
Yeah, we need to be ready to welcome people in and help them do that. And if there are times when the right thing to do is to help someone leave, at least for a while. A few for a long time. We laugh about that.
I'll see you. I'll be right back.
That's not the official recommendation of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce.
No. Every once in a while, we do recognize that someone's going to benefit from an experience elsewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
But we really hope that experience elsewhere helps them reflect differently on what's going on.
Would like to help you out. There's a stage leaving in 5 minutes.
We're here with Susan Williams, Executive Director of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce, at least for today. 21 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. This is the Morning Drill on Stream Television and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. You get through Friday.
Then what's next? Well, of course, we've been talking about festival for quite a while. You always remind me how close that is.
Me?
Yes, and I'm really excited.
It is coming quickly, though.
We have dabbled a bit on the subject of our Bike and Brew, that we're going to be holding that this summer on Friday, July the 22nd, as part of Oil Heritage Festival. So I'm going to start talking more specifically about what's going on. During the day, we're really going to concentrate on trying to encourage bicyclists to come into our region, come in from every end. I mean, we'd love to see bikers experience the bike trails in Titusville, in Emlenton, in Franklin. Figure out where you want to spend the day and how much time you have. But we'd like you to kind of migrate towards Oil City and the Downtown Festival in the afternoon. We will be designing some self-guided tours. So if you want to come to Oil City and say, well, I want to do a 10-mile ride on a trail, we'll show you what the ways to do that are. We're hoping we can arrange some shuttling so people that want to ride further and go out to a start point and come in can do that. We'll have some mountain biking activities going on out at 2 Mile, road rides. So we know there's a lot of people that want to just ride along the road and want to really chalk up some mileage. Might want to do a 30 to 50 mile ride that day and see some historic sites. We're going to be trying to make sure that within the community there are things that support bicyclists. So we're inviting bike vendors and we'll have some mini workshops and things to really support why this is a great region to bring your bicycle and spend a day or a weekend or a whole week and explore our trails.
That sounds like a great weekend for the OC&T to have one of their bike and choo-choo weekends
that
too.
Would be a great thing. So we'll really be formally reaching out here in the next couple of weeks to those partners who clearly have a connection to bicycling, to everyone that has kind of a ownership along the trails, those organizations that have supported riding, and see how they'd like to be involved, whether they want to create mini events or they just simply want to be telling people that they work with what's going on. Our main objective is simply to promote trail and road use, mountain bike trail use as well in our region, and why that's a great attraction to come here. And then our event in the evening will be from 5 to 8. We're going to hold a brew fest in Corn Planter Square, which some people will recognize as the old Oil City National Bank. For many years it was Mellon Bank, and that building has been relatively unoccupied for the better part of 10 to 15 years. And the owners, Ray and Jan Beekner, are busy working at getting that space prepared for us to go in. It is a majestic space, if anybody remembers, especially as a kid walking in and all the marble and the vastness. We're going to fill that with breweries, and we'll be selling 300 tickets to that event. As soon as we can, we'll start making those available, and we're inviting people to come, taste some local microbrews, and participate. They don't have to ride a bike there. So while we're calling it the Bike and Brew,
they don't have to ride a bike.
You don't have to ride a bike. We may give some incentives for people.
I think you're going to need to print like 600 tickets.
We might. I will tell you that support for such an event has been wonderful. So we are exploring the use of some outdoor space that's right there adjacent, and that may give us a little wiggle room, but we certainly, for a first-year event, want to know that we can hold such an event very responsibly. We hope that the microbreweries will respond. We'd love anyone listening that has a connection. If you have a microbrewery, hopefully you've already received our invitation, but you can contact me to say, yep, we're in. If you have a favorite brewery, please tell them you hope to see them at the Oil Heritage Festival Microbrew this summer. First annual event. If it works well, hopefully we'll make it a tradition.
Oh, that's great. And it's amazing because you look on Facebook or social media and people are loving this weather. They're out on the trails right now. They're taking advantage of the weather. It's great to see. And, there's all that excitement. There's all the talk about how to, better the trails and get everything connected so that you can really enjoy a nice long weekend out.
And we're seeing it. During last year's Oil Heritage Festival, we had a number of visitors into the region who didn't really know festival was even going on. They'd traveled in and were riding their bikes through downtown Oil City and just happened upon the festival. So we want to really make that connection this year, that there's an opportunity to plan a weekend around what we are doing. And we'll have, of course, great music, as always, in Justice Park. And then the weekend will continue with the craft show and the car show and all kinds of events by local nonprofits and organizations that are, have traditional events going on. So we're Fireman's 5K on, that's Saturday morning. So we may have some bicyclists that come in for Friday but want to stay over and spend the weekend with us.
That's wonderful. Should they contact the Chamber to get information on where to stay, where to eat?
Absolutely. Anyone that would like more information, we will be doing our very best to populate our website with all of this information as we update, from last year at venangochamber.org. They can certainly contact me at the Chamber at 814-676-8521. And we're located at 41 Main Street, right along the bike trail. The bike trail runs right behind our building. So stop on your bike if you want. And I'm having a lot of community members that are offering to help. Like Krista said with her board, I have community members that are saying, we think this is a great idea. How can we be of assistance? So we're really, today is one of my first meetings to really try to put some real structure to the bicycling part. I do have a kind of a key person that's leading that charge and some others helping. So if you'd like to be connected there, we're going to want local bike ambassadors. If we have a lot of people coming in, it would be nice on self-guided tours to know that we have some local ambassadors who might say, hey, I'll ride the trail with you and make sure you get where you're going and get back, and if you need anything. So if that sounds like fun to you, let us know.
That's great. And are there maps available if somebody wanted to stop by the Chamber and get a map of historic sites or places, have-to places to visit? Sure.
We have a lot of information. We have a regional map that includes bike trails that is just like a regular road map, but we incorporated trails in when we published that a few years ago. There's a lot of information about local attractions that they can see. We can certainly help them with that and point them to the others in the region that are experts on that. But we will be trying to put that information together again in a more formal format for that day so that we know, based around the bike ride, where it might be practical.
Well, there's a regional visitor center, too, at the, was it Science and Industry Museum?
Well, the Venango Museum is the Oil City Visitor Center, so they have a lot of information. And I believe they're opening, this weekend is their opening.
Yeah, they opened.
What a great place.
Yeah,
that place is really
closed
neat.
for the winter.
And they're right on the bike trail, too.
They are. They're right along the bike trail there. And I know there are locations in, certainly in Titusville, in Oil City, and in Franklin, and in Emlenton, where you can start and stop and get more information. While the Chamber is not the official visitor center for the region, we have a lot of information, but often it makes sense for us to refer people to our partners who truly, fit that bill and
well, you're
can help
certainly
people.
Convenient to it. That's for sure.
We are. So we'd love to be the kind of conduit or the greeter to get you to the information you'd like to find.
That's fantastic. I know people are really looking forward to hitting the trails, getting the festivals back, and looking forward to that nice weather and all these great activities that are coming up.
And we've certainly gotten a taste of it already. So,
I don't think that's helped, though. I mean, it's like, come on.
I think we're ready. We're all ready for spring and summer to be upon us. So, very excited. And there will be a few things in between now and festival, but we really gearing up for that right now. So. And
it sounds like the attitude is, we know the bridge is going to be closed, but that's fine. We
Yeah,
can't do
we can
anything
work
about
with
that. Yeah.
So far, so good. The bridge just closed over the weekend, or I guess on Monday, and we've been watching where we get a front row seat to Route 8 and what's happening there. Our light has changed to a blinker, so it's actually easier to drive right by the chamber. But probably the place where I'm most concerned that I would just caution people. I travel down Route 8 into Oil City every day, sometimes several times a day if I'm running back and forth, and there's now a 3-way stop just on the northern side.
That's my route,
so
too.
A reminder that is a 3-way stop. So the two challenges that exist is, one, that those that are southbound that haven't stopped need to pay attention to that and make that stop. And third, we're going to have to do a dance for a while to figure out who goes first. It really is. But often you pull up to that intersection with other people. So I would just urge people to be very cautious. We can make the most of this.
I've noticed, however, it seems to be working well so far.
To be. I have not noticed any.
Susan seems a little upset. I mean, she swore. She said the blinking light.
The blinking light. There you go. That blinking light. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few
that
people.
That blinking light.
Susan, but I've done the walk, and I walk the railroad bridge now instead of the Center Street Bridge to get over town, and it's about the same.
Susan, great seeing you this morning.
Seeing you.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your week. Good luck.
Great.
And have fun Friday.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All righty. Final look at news coming up next.